Yeah, you really are. I mean, you know, this new song is amazing.
How are you feeling?
You haven't stopped. You keep serving us as fans of your band, and just keep
Too
bringing
loud?
us into this
Or we
world.
good?
And the song feels like some closure, though, right? It's got a sense of something coming to an end, and I think people are starting to cotton onto that and get a sense that it's been a magical ride up to this point of whatever you've been building and how you've been presenting it. But you know, tell us a little bit.
No sound? It's good. All right. I'm gonna keep
About
going.
where the spirit of the band is in relation to everything from sort of Blurry Face up to this forthcoming project.
I was talking to Josh about how we kind of played it like our last record, Clancy, was going to be the end of the story, and we potentially knew it was going to be a cliffhanger the way it ended. And I think that we felt a little like we had just done a misdirection to the fans. We never like to pull the rug out from under them. So intentionally knowing that we wanted to name the following record Breach was kind of this play on, we kind of breached their trust a bit.
Oh, that's kind of clever. That is kind of clever. Sorry about the mic. I don't know what's going on.
In a way that actually ties into the story that we're telling as well. So, yeah, it felt like it worked, but it is like officially this album, Breach, is the last album that's telling the story. The story will end with this one.
Let me ask you this then, without giving too much away, because there's no point in breaching sort of in creating this sense of like it's not done, now it is done, and then kind of giving the game away. But was it a relatively spontaneous decision for you to continue, given that you kind of figured that Clancy was going to kind of wrap this up? I guess what I'm asking is, at what point in the timeline did you go, you know what, maybe let's breach?
Well, we always knew that there were more songs to be added to Clancy. We just didn't know exactly, there was a moment where we thought we were just going to add songs to the record, and anytime I would tell someone that, I would go to my local coffee shop, and one of the guys that works there always asks how things are going, and I tell him, we're thinking about, we're gonna add some songs to the record to kind of like wrap it up, and he goes, "Oh, like a deluxe."
Yeah, it's such a weird word, especially in this context, right?
My heart sank. It was just like, that's how you describe fast food.
I was waiting for you to say it, right? It's just like the great deal breaker, especially for this, because you've just built this beautiful, entirely immersive thing. And it's like, let's just snap you out of the spell and bring you into the record industry reality of deluxe. It's like, nah, man.
And Josh and I talk about like there's no other way that really in our culture right now with the way that we consume music, that's the easiest way to describe adding songs to a record is deluxe. And it almost makes it seem like they were songs that didn't quite make the cut at first or whatever. And we live in this industry right now is all about just trying to like add stuff to records to give them another like second, third life type of thing. And I'm not really, we're not into that. So we knew that this had to live as its own, as its own record. And
it would have been the first and only misstep in an otherwise flawless execution,
Wow. Yeah.
I don't know about that.
You see all the things behind the scenes that you wish could have been done better. But from fans' point of view, since you arrived in 2015 with this particular era of the band, it's been fascinating to see you bring it to life. So I want to talk a little bit about, like, at this point, just what the undertaking of it all, because it's one thing to put an album out with artwork and visuals and things, and that's a beautiful creative exercise. But then you got to bring it to life live. And then you have to make sure that the messaging and the way you're engaging with people is in line with this. It must have felt at times very overwhelming in a great way, but still.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like the big overwhelming part, I think, sometimes happens the day that tour cycle for an album ends, because it's starting from zero and creating a record and then putting a show together that kind of is the visual representation of that album. That's all it's like the most fun part, but it's also like the most challenging part. And then when we're on tour, especially like, halfway through a tour, that's where it starts to feel like, oh man, okay, we can kind of coast on this for a little bit. And and actually kind of sit back and enjoy the thing that we made in a way that we're able to kind of like see it objectively. And then and then that tour ends, and then it's like, oh man, now it's kind of straight back to square one. So I feel like anytime kind of that last day of tour, it's kind of like this bittersweet thing where it's like, man, we're kind of putting this portion of of the story kind of like to rest, but now it's time to get back to work.
Well, I wondered if that's what prompted you to get back to work so fast, because you only just wrapped that particular tour up in the UK. We're all watching these shows. We're all watching you continue to add legs and figure it out. That comes to an end. And then we're right back with the contract and with Breach. And so I wonder whether or not it's like, look, let's just keep going.
See, we just need, oh, I'm sorry if there's echo, but we just need more interviews with Zane Lowe and interviewers that ask deep questions like this. You know what I mean?
Because we're in that rhythm. You know what I mean? We know what we're doing.
I think that we were always curious about the concept of releasing music. We've been using the phrase in stride, because the way that we've been doing it up until now is we go away, we take a moment.
Bro, the super chat, Bryce, thank you so much. Man, thank you so much. That means a ton. Every cent of that is going back into the channel. Probably figuring out how to make this echo go away. Yes, I did see my, I can't talk like this. My contract reaction was taken down, but I'm going to re-edit it and put it together as like a proper reaction video. And I am currently, as we speak, writing the script for the full breakdown and lyrical analysis as well. So that should be out by the end of today. So keep an eye out for that. Subscribe. Post notifications, all the things. Again, thank you so much, Bryce. You're amazing.
Moment, we disappear, we come back with a record, and I think that I imagine like standing in a town hall or something and raising your hand and be like, okay, now we're ready to release a record. Who's all interested? It's tough to gather everyone who even would say that they're fans of our music all at once. So to kind of announce an album and announce a new era in stride with the previous album, it does seem like we had everyone's attention, and we're really excited about kind of bringing fans along and not worrying about trying to get everyone's attention all at once. And I think that also as I get older,
Michael, you're so right. That money's going to rebuilding a PC, because this one is I built in 2020 during COVID, and it's on its last leg. Or I'll just switch to Apple. I don't know. I don't game as much on PC, so I think Apple's a viable choice, but we'll see.
Older, especially, I feel like
you look younger.
They have not aged. Look at this. This looks like Trench Tyler. What?
It's a filter.
It's just you got portrait on. No, but it's a cinematic. No, but it's okay. That's the only misstep in otherwise flawless execution. You went cinematic on us. No, no.
I don't even know how to do that. How do you do that? Is there a way to make me look hotter on this?
Tyler, that's impossible. but we'll send someone over, put you on cinematic mode.
I knew there was a reason why you were the only interview we were going to take.
Kill him with kindness, they say. I digress. You were saying as you mature somewhat.
Yeah. As I get older as a creative, the way I would describe creating songs is is a little grotesque, but vomiting on the table and just like whatever comes out. And when you're younger, it seems like you just have a lot more stuff come out just naturally. It's just a flow of, I don't know why it is that when you're younger, it seems to just come out of you easier. As we get older, it does feel like there's less vomit, creative just blah that comes out, but we do feel like we've learned how to organize it better. So as we're realizing, there's less, coming out, we know now kind of have some wisdom on what to do and how to piece it together and how to make it something. So I felt that as a songwriter oh, I still have something.
Oh yeah, there's so many questions in this song. I mean, there's unresolved. This is an unresolved experience. If you listen to it really lyrically, I think it feels there's a lot of like, what is this feeling? What's going on? Like,
Big time.
you know, is it lights out yet? Like, what is happening? There's just a lot of questions going on in this song.
Yeah, that's I guess that's good.
It's great.
The other thing with this melody on the contract specifically, I've gotten to the point where as I'm singing melodies and working on a lyric and a point of view, I have my, kind of go-to, my tools in the tool belt of how I would sing something or how I would melodically move throughout chords.
Vom mentioned.
And this song particularly, I was like, I need to just rethink what a good melody even is.
How do you do that? How do you break the spell? How do you put yourself in the uncomfortable?
You take exactly what came natural and you do the opposite. And so for me, the chorus of Contract, like when I was first starting to sing over this chord progression, it just was like, I've done this. I've heard this. I want to do, like, if I were to move, what if I were to jump up higher, quicker, and then come back down? And like there's previous version of me would never think I can go
yeah.
Like, there's just almost as I'm seeing the melody drawn out, like I would never have done that. And I just really forced myself to kind of rethink, kind of rewire what I think a good melody even is.
That has to be a teaser. That has to be just a fourth of the interview. There's no way. They like cut it off. There was no exit or goodbye or anything like that. Has anyone said online that there's more coming, like ZANE LOWE or anything like that? Wow, this echo is really tripping me up. Man, well, there's where okay. So where's the rest of this? Because each ZANE LOWE interview is like very substantial. Like, look at this. Well, I guess there's not timestamps, but this like this one with John.
Yeah, or it kind of swept through all three boys.
Oh, this is a teaser because you need a subscription. He said Jail Anderson posted the whole thing. I feel like that was the whole thing. Audio only.
What's going on, fellas?
Would melodically move throughout chords.
And comfort, but it's still comfortable, and that's not what we come to you for.
I've heard this. Like, what if I were to jump up, melody drawn out? Like, I would never have done that, and I just really forced myself to kind of rewire what I think a good melody even is.
What a beautiful process. What an incredible experience to be able to sit there and have the self-awareness to know that you're finding yourself in a place of comfort, right? Hard-earned comfort, but it's still comfortable, and that's not what we come to you for. You know that as a band. You make things deliberately uncomfortable for yourselves. Your shows are uncomfortable experiences at the best possible way. So it's like, it's on brand, guys. It's on brand. It's really nice to see you. I mean, I'm just going to sing for myself. I'm going to invite myself to the wedding. So we've spoken a few times over the course of this experience, and I'm sure the last thing you want to do is sit down and kind of troll through another curious Kiwi conversation. But
no,
I kind of feel at 10 years, Breach wrapping up a pretty exceptional era of art for 21 Pilots and for fans, that maybe there's an opportunity for us to, I don't know, get this particular band back together and kind of dive into it one last time. But I'll leave that for you guys to decide later on. On camera.
Let's do it.
Let's do it, man. We always have a good time when we do it, and I'd love to spend more time diving into this whole era, and of course with a focus on Breach. It's rare I see bands come off tour so inspired, looking so healthy and well. So you know what you're doing. You know what you're doing. You figured it out, and we appreciate you for it. So thank you for the music. Thank you for the time as always, fellas.
Yeah, let's get together sometime.
Yeah. Okay. Love it. Have a great day, guys. Take care.
Sweet.
Thank you.
Lots of love. Bye.
Okay, that felt like That felt like a resolution that I was looking for. I really was thinking to be like 40 minutes. Oh, what a day. Okay, so what to expect now? Sorry for the echo. I don't know what's going on. Is it still echoing? Still? So what's going on? I'm currently working on the I gotta take the headphones off because wow, that echo is driving me nuts. So what's going on? I have the reaction that I want to re-edit into a condensed clip, so it wasn't. It's not gonna trip the copyright strike stuff. I'm going to finish writing my full breakdown, lyrical analysis, record that today, and then I also want to. Yeah, I think that was everything. The live stream, the reaction, the breakdown, lyrical analysis, and that is all going to be posted today. So definitely subscribe, stay in the know. Thank you once again, Bryce, for that super chat. You guys are too kind. And yeah, I'm so enthralled with this music video. Like, this scream was incredible. Best part of the song, the rap. I'm just a sucker for that type of stuff, but man, like, so good. So my wife isn't like the biggest fan of 21 Pilots. Like, she likes them, but she's just more casual. But I played her this song during the break of my live streams, and she really liked it. So that's a great sign. I think this song is gonna go places. But yeah, man. Love you guys. Talk to you soon.